waiting for you to finish. 啊，那个美人的吗？
We do our own bean supply our own bean. Yeah, this is more towards premium Taiwan.
呀，可以。啊，just let you know, I'm just doing a bit of recording only. That's all. Hey, you take your time. You settle them first. I just realized one thing. Should it be Ken here from Travel with KenKish? So when I'm not doing food and travel, I will be usually in deep thoughts. And most of the time, when you ask me, you know when you ask people, hey, what are you thinking? I can tell you, I'm always thinking about something. Sometimes when I ask Sharon what is she thinking, she always says there's nothing on her mind. And I find it very difficult to actually believe that. Maybe because I need a lot more practice on my meditation. But most of the time, my mind is always filled up with things. So I'll be thinking about very deep thoughts on life and happiness. So this video is radically very different from the normal videos that I do, which is about food and travel and about biking. Yeah. So honestly, I do not know why I'm doing this, but I hope sharing this story, my mom memories, can help anyone listening and watching these videos. And also, I would like to share with you, don't dispense the words or the wisdom words that's given by your mom, like mom quotes, hashtag mom quotes. Feel free to comment and share this video, as I know that we want more warmth in our life, in our hearts, and the hearts of our mom. So, I know I don't look like I'm smiling, I'm not serious, it's just that it's a bit more solemn. Why? Because 2 days ago, it's actually my mom's birthday. She is 70, but she's no longer with us since 2019. As in, no longer in the physical form. So all these years, I've been going through finding many ways trying to deal with it. So I never had, some funerals, they have people going up on the podium sharing the stories of what did the deceased actually bring them, what kind of memories and whatnot, right? I never had that chance because the whole process from the hospital to burying was very quick. Very quick. Essentially, not many of my friends knew, but the process, the physical process I had to go through was actually a bit morbid because I have closer friends who actually saw the physical thing I had to do, and they did tell me something that they can't do But in that moment when it happened, you just do it because elders tell you what to do, right? And because my family is actually very small, so I don't have a big family to have that kind of support that emotional support. But nevertheless, so why I want to do these segments, because there's so many stories that remind me of my mom. Because sometimes when I see things, I see scenarios, it remind me of my mom. So I'm going to share with you 10 stories now. Let's just take it as part 1. These 10 stories is going to share with you the 10 things about my mom which you may be able to relate. And maybe if you are from the same era than me, you might be able to relate. If you are not from the same era, you may not be able to relate, because a lot of parents from this similar era, they behave similarly. Okay, so the 10 memories of mom. My first memory, quite a number of people always ask me, hey Ken, your Malay very good. Then I tell them, yeah, I'm Malay. Hey, then why your name is Ken? They say, you have a Chinese name. They say, yeah, my name is Chinese, but actually Ken is not Chinese. Ken, I think is Japanese. Is Ken Japanese name? Yeah, so Ken, there's a meaning, Ken, but Ken is actually my birth name. My mom gave it to me. So what happened was, in my younger days, before primary 1, I was actually taken care by a foster family. My mom will drop me off at a foster family, then afterwards she'll pick me up. So a very good couple of years, I was taken care by this Malay family, and that's how I took up Malay. So you know when you go to primary school, right? Primary school, during that time, you need to change classes for mother tongue, your second language. And my second language then was Mandarin. So usually there's a majority of Mandarin speaking people or Mandarin learning students. So they will be in the class. Then the Indian students or the Malay students will need to go other classes, and all the different classes will combine because lesser Malays and lesser Indians. So that's the funny part. So when second mother tongue classes started, I actually went to the class, and I was 7 years old then, should be 7 now. And I still remember the teacher's name is called Cikgu Jalil. He was also the badminton teacher. I'm not sure whether he was still around, but I ever saw him before a number of years ago. So this teacher, when he said, take up your second language book, your Malay book, I actually took up my Malay book, my book. I was searching for this Malay book. Then when I took it out, it was actually a Chinese book. Then when I took out it was Chinese book, I was dumbfounded, lost. I did not know what to do. Like, wow, wrong class, jialat, how? So when the teacher realized that I was in the wrong class, he started to poke fun at me. Honestly, I can't remember what he said or what was the exact words. But there was a commotion and the students was laughing at me. And to be frank, I did not find it abusing. What was interesting was what I did. At the end of the classes, everything was over already. When I went back home, the first thing I did was I behaved like a spoiled brat. I dropped my bag in front of my mom. I told her, why you didn't tell me to go to Chinese class? And I don't remember my mom explaining to me the complexity of being in of this mixed race thing. All I remember was she laughing at me, just the laughter. And that's how I remember this segment of my life. I label it the wrong class. Okay, that's story 1. Yeah, so there's 10. I ordered, what was the thing I ordered? Oriental beauty tea. Yeah, so I was thinking have a hot tea review. Yeah. Okay, I have another 9 more stories. I'm not sure I can finish in this video or not. Let's just do it lah. So the second story is titled Take Bus on Your Own. Take bus on your own. So I remembered the first experience that I took bus was actually in primary 1, and incidentally it was the first time I took MRT, and all this is alone. So at a very young age, my mom trained me to be independent. I never knew that all this is independence. And she is busy with work, so I presume for her to go up and down, and during that time she don't drive. My mom is never a driver, and I'm not sure whether does she have a driving license. Did she tell you before? Yeah, so she do not drive, she don't own a car, so she actually told me to take the bus home from school on my own, and also to take the MRT, SMRT, the MRT, the Mass Rapid Transit. from Jurong East all the way to Tampines, where my grandma is staying. And the funny thing is, I did not resist. In fact, I was enjoying this newfound type of freedom. And I did it on my own. I still could remember, I remember every station from Jurong East all the way to Tampines. From school, not actually from school, from the student center to home is only a couple of bus stops. So that was not the exciting part. It is taking MRT from Jurong East to Tampines that was exciting. I could remember the number of stops. I could actually repeat, you know, doors closing. I could do that. I could find the silly names of every MRT stations. I mean, just to remember. Like for example, last time I called Paya Lebar, Papaya Leopard. As simple as that. So that was a very freedom part of my life, and I was playing drums on a chair. People were staring at me because I was sitting on the floor, sitting on my own, and during that time, I think you don't really see 6-7-year-olds on their own. And I'm very lucky that I was not abducted. So that's the second story on how I remember my mom training me to be independent. It was not how I saw it at that time. That time I saw it as independence, freedom. Yeah. Okay. The third story is called Spray Water to Wake Up. So the third story happened when I was not an early riser in my early days. I think all kids are not early risers. So my mom, every time she has to wake me up to go to school. So every morning we're supposed to wake up, I think about 6:30. Then by 6:50, 6:45, the school bus will come. And the thing is, although 6:30 sounds like only 15 to 20 minutes to prepare, right? I prepare myself quite quick. It's only the dragging part that made me waste time. So it's the rolling in bed. She asked me to wake up, and not the first time, second time, and up 10 times. I don't even know how many times. Alarm clock was useless to me. My mom was my alarm clock. So there was one time she got fed up. She woke me up through a very unconventional method. She caught hold of me, brought me to the toilet, and took the hose, the water hose, and sprayed me until I wake up. And I tell you, it might sound like abuse, but this is one experience where I think not many people have this experience with their parents, to be woken up by hose. My mom was tired of scolding me or using the mouth to logicalize or explain to me why I must wake up. She just sprayed water, and the action spoke really louder than words. And that was my experience of she waking me up. Fourth story is called Falling Off the Seat. I mean, you can guess what it's about. When I was young, every time when I sat in the car or sat in the bus, it was like not snooze button, it was the sleep button for me. I immediately fell asleep. I was very comfortable because the whole bus rocks and it sets me off to sleep. So what happened was, I remember there was one time, and even though the bus violently rocks and shakes, I can still enjoy the whole journey. So I'll be sitting at a corner seat, then my head will be resting on the, during that time, it's not glass window, it's actually very hard acrylic, or I don't even know is it polymer or what, but those very hard plastic for window lah. So the whole time will be like that. Then my whole head is like, you know, something hard against something hard, that feeling, oh my god, I tell you, I can still sleep. That shows how lazy I am. So there was one time, I was not sitting at that corner. I was not sitting at the back of the bus. I was actually sitting at a twin seat, but on the outer seat. That means by the aisle. But my mom was not sitting with me. She was sitting at another seat, which is by the aisle, maybe about 2 or 3 rows in front of me. The funny thing is, why she don't let me sit in front, right? She can see me. Because when she's sitting in front, she need to turn back to keep looking at me. But that's the thing about my mom. My mom is very free-spirited. She will just do, and wrong then change. So that's where I'm also like that. So what happened was, the bus turned left, turned right, and last time there's a lot of buses called the feeder bus. That means you take the bus from the bus interchange, it will go one round into the estate and come back to the same, not from A to B, but from A to A. So that's how buses work during then. So I remember the bus, I think it was, I cannot remember what bus. Okay, never mind, that's not important. So the bus was turning left, turning right. Then suddenly the bus turned so much that I was actually sleeping. Then I fell off the floor. Kabong! Then I think it was the bus that went over the hump. That was buses during that has no aircon. And the bell is not ting tong. The bell was bang, the buzzing sound, not the ting tong so pleasant one. So what happened is, when I think the bus went over a hump too fast, I fell off the floor. I woke up, and at that moment I do not know why my mom also realized that she had to check for me. So she turned around, she saw me lying, and not lying, sitting on the floor. You guess what she did? Instead of, oh, are you okay? You stand up. Yeah. Oh, your fault lah. What are you doing? Guess what she did? Same thing lah. She laughed at me, and she laughed like, no bus, no hose but. Is that the phrase? No. She laughed, no limit one lah. Just laugh like that, so loud. And that is the only memory I had for that segment. That's called falling off the seat. I'm still waiting for my tea. He's a one-man handling everything, so I have to be patient now. Sekali I finish the 10 stories, then the tea still haven't come. I'm going to take some water first. Doing the tea now,
Yeah, doing the tea now.
Okay.
You need the water.
No. 这样快，哎呀。Oh, so it's not that we have the leaves and everything, then we pour ourselves.
No. Because we need to control the temperature and the timing to get the optimum.
I thought he just put leaf hot water give us. Okay, I got my cup of water. Just checking out my tea. So he said he's doing one more round. So Sharon just said that it goes 3 rounds. So one full. So the 3 rounds is into one kettle or number 5, the dessert. So when I was in primary school, I think maybe primary 3, primary 2, primary 3. That's where I started to listen to music, pop music. So things like Michael Jackson, Indecent Obsession, Enigma. I was listening to all this through cassette tapes. And what happened is, I always like to play music very loud. And many times my mom asked me, are you in a, you are very angry, is it? Because a lot of sometimes my musics are very angry sounding. Some rock music. Yeah. But my taste of music has changed over the years. So there was one time when I was in my room listening to music, minding my own business. I can't remember what was I doing. I can't remember, but I know there was definitely music playing. So my mom is a shouter, just like my grandma. They cannot come to you to call you, and you don't. When you hear their voice, you don't see their face. So they're shouter. My grandma sounds like a man. Thankfully, my mom don't sound like a man. So she always like to call me Kenna. So when she shouted Kenna, normally she will say "I cha mi mai." So that's Hokkien for do you want fried noodles? So I usually will say yes or no lah. So at that day she actually shouted, do you want to eat lizard? Then I hear, huh? Lizard? Why lizard? Then I was stumped. I don't know what to say. So I kept quiet. I didn't reply. I didn't run to her. Actually, I should have run to her, right, to ask her what she said. So she came to the room. She asked me, hey, I talked to you, why you never answer me? I told her, I don't know what you say. I heard you want me to eat lizard. Guess what happened next? Just guess. She slapped me. 4-5 fingers pop across my face. I was flabbergasted. Hey bro, I curious, you said 3 times, so this considered 1 time,
no,
2 times already.
Yeah,
so
can do
one kettle is half teapot lah.
Yeah,
half pot, okay.
Yes.
Oh, this looks very nice. Okay, 借我 camera.
OK， 这个可以喝了，这个是给你闻香气。
Yeah.
你先 review 让我知道。
Sweet. To be frank, the color is very nice. As you can see closer, there are things inside, which is the goodness, I guess. And that's the leaves. Let me smell the leaves. It doesn't smell too earthy. You know, sometimes it's too leafy, earthy. Come, let me pour myself a cup. Can you do me the honors? I don't want to do too many one time. So Sharon is pouring me a cup. Not too much, but half cup I'm fine. Okay, I'm going to try the tea before it cools down. Because tea is nice drinking cold lah, but try to enjoy hot things can be enjoyed hot, cold things can be enjoyed cold. So there's different experiences. So you can try any beverage with different. I mean, you can try hot cola, see how it happens. This is very hot. And you look at the cup. Oh, this is definitely a cold tea. That means it's nice hot, but it is also very nice cold. You try. It don't have the aftertaste. Tea without aftertaste is very nice cold. Incidentally, my mom is a tea drinker. She buy all the bells and whistles, but I've never sat down with her with the kettle. So the dessert. So she said, I do not know. Yeah. So after she slapped me, I was lost there. I was like, wow, why suddenly? Then I said, I told her, I don't want you ask me to eat lizard, that's why she slapped me. Then after that, I realized, oh, dessert, not lizard. Something as simple as that. And when I was so oblivious, it's not even naive, oblivious, that I hear my mom ask me to eat lizard. I mean, which parent will ask you to eat lizard? Unless you are from a third world country that has lizard in your diet. But honestly, I don't know why. I was so oblivious. So that was my story of the dessert number 5.